You already know the name. Before this week is over, there is one person you need to speak to. Not a crowd, not the internet, not a vague prayer that God would somehow use your life in general. One person, a face, a name, a real conversation. And the reason you keep hesitating may sound spiritual. You think you need more training. You think you need better words. You think you need an airtight answer for every objection that might come flying back at you. But that is not what Jesus said. In Mark 5, a man has just been ripped out of darkness so violent that chains could not hold him. He lived among tombs. He cried out night and day. He cut himself with stones. Then Jesus stepped onto that shore, spoke a word, and the man was changed so completely that the people found him sitting and clothed and in his right mind. Can you imagine that moment? After years of torment, silence inside his own mind. After shame, dignity. After ruin, peace. And what does the man want? He wants to stay near Jesus. Of course he does. He who had been demon-possessed begged him that he might be with him. That sounds holy. That sounds right. That sounds like the answer. But then comes the word we do not expect. However, Jesus did not permit him. Did not permit him. The man asks for closeness, and Jesus gives him a commission. The man asks to remain, and Jesus tells him to return. The man wants the boat, and Jesus sends him back to the streets that remember his madness. Go home to your friends, and tell them what great things the Lord has done for you, and how he has had compassion on you. That is the assignment. Not go explain every mystery, not go win every argument, not go impress them, not go become an expert before you open your mouth. Go home. Go to your friends. Tell them what great things the Lord has done for you. Tell them how he has had compassion on you. This is where many believers quietly disobey. You may love listening to truth. You may underline verses. You may pray for boldness. You may even feel deep gratitude for what Christ has done. But if your salvation never reaches your mouth, something is missing. Not from the power of the gospel, from your obedience to it. The first witness in this story was not a seminary graduate. He was a rescued man with a past everyone knew. And maybe that is exactly why his witness carried weight. The people could compare the before and after. They knew the old chains. They knew the old darkness. So when he spoke about Jesus, his life made the words believable. Do you see what you have been given? If Christ has saved you, you already have a testimony. Maybe it is dramatic. Maybe it is quiet. Maybe he pulled you out of addiction, rage, lust, fear, self-worship, dead religion, secret despair. Maybe the miracle is not that you were notorious, but that for years you looked fine while your soul was starving. Do not insult grace by calling your story small. If the Son of God met you in your sin, opened your blind eyes, and gave you mercy instead of judgment, there is nothing small about that. So here is the challenge, and it is not symbolic. Before Sunday, tell one specific person what Jesus has done in your life. Name them before God today. Text them, call them, meet them, ask for 10 minutes. Sit across from them and speak plainly. You do not need a polished speech. In fact, polish can become hiding. Say, I need to tell you something real. Say, this is who I was. Say, this is what Christ showed me. Say, this is how he changed me. Say, I am still being changed, but I know what he has done for me. That is witness. And yes, you may feel exposed. Your voice may shake. The moment may be awkward. You may not know how they will respond. Tell them anyway, because obedience is not measured by their reaction. It is measured by whether you spoke when Jesus said speak. Notice the beauty of the command. Jesus did not tell the man to go to strangers first. He said, "Go home to your friends." Start where your life is already visible. Start where your history is already known. Start where people have enough context to recognize mercy when they hear it. For some of you, that person is a sibling. For some, it is a parent. For some, a friend who remembers the old you. For some, a coworker who has watched you change but has never heard the name behind it. Do not wait for a perfect opening. Make one. This week, you've talked about being saved. Good. But being saved is not only about where you go when you die. It is about who owns your voice while you live. Jesus did not rescue you only to admire him from a distance. He rescued you to bear witness. The man in Mark 5 was sent back into ordinary roads with an extraordinary message. And verse 20 says, "And he departed and began to proclaim in Decapolis all that Jesus had done for him, and all marveled." He departed. That is the line. He did not linger in private gratitude forever. He did not confuse being near holy things with obeying the Holy One. He departed. He proclaimed. People marveled. Now it is your turn. Before Sunday, one person. Not someday, not when you feel ready, not after you clean up your language and organize your theology, and become the version of yourself you think God can finally use. One person, one honest testimony, one act of obedience. Tell them what great things the Lord has done for you and how he has had compassion on you. If Jesus has truly saved you, then silence is not humility. It is hesitation dressed up as wisdom. This is extreme faith. Until next time.